Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of Power Rangers Heirs to Olympus. We are going to continue on with some lovely Broseidon aquarium madness. Hopefully, everything is going to be awesome, and nobody's going to go for a swim with any fish, or fishes, or sharks. Maybe a hippocampi, but who knows? I am Matt. I am the GM for this game with these lovely players and their lovely characters. And yeah, take it away.
Oh, that's me. Hi, I'm Killian. I play Millie, the Purple Ranger, and I have a snack named Eve.
Hello, I am Michael. I'm playing Winslow the Red Ranger, and my mom got kidnapped. Punch of God.
Hi, I'm Sabina. I play Thea, the Green Ranger, and things are happening.
Hello, I am other Michael. It's weird me saying it that way. Um, I play
You're right.
Alexander, musical prodigy extraordinaire, and I'm the Pink Ranger.
Good afternoon, everybody! If you are here, I can only assume you to be an acquaintance of my sister's. Nevertheless, I shan't fault you for this. Bow in awe of my magnanimity. Daniel LaRue III, so pleased to be here.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Every
God.
time.
Oh
Oh,
my God.
Daniel.
I really need to start writing those in advance.
On the last episode of Power Rangers Heirs to Olympus, our 5 fearless rangers headed to their temporary accommodations, we'll call it for now, secret clubhouse, who knows, also known as the swanky beach house, owned by one of the lovely rich individuals, our lovely Daniel. They had a bit of an interesting time. Millie and Thea stopped off at a hostel to pick up their clothing, driving a Maserati. As you can imagine, drew a few eyes, a little bit of attention. Oddly, Winslow travelled home to try and have a conversation with his mother about all of this, being the fact that she is Nike, only to find out that his father was staying at a hotel because there'd been a big accident at their house, huge storm, and it had basically been destroyed. He did manage to help the fire service rescue somebody and saw what looked essentially to be a massive lightning pole driven through his home. And then got a message from Hermes that basically, or a message relayed by Hermes that basically said, yeah, you know, play it cool, try not to get the attention of Zeus, and, you know, there'll be time one day to take it to him, but not quite yet. Alexander, packing about, well, way too many outfits necessary to. Oh, yeah, panic?
I swear to God, I feel like Hermes looked like someone. Am I misremembering that? I feel like he looked like a famous person.
He was
And he
very
looks
much.
like Ryan Reynolds or something. I don't remember.
If he didn't, he should now.
I mean,
Alright, we're going back. Replacing the actor.
Lin-Manuel Miranda is playing him in Percy.
Yep.
So.
I don't feel like we can cast him, so we'll pinch Ryan Reynolds for now. Just running through the streets to deliver some messages. Nobody will notice. Alexander packed way too many outfits for a weekend trip to the beach house. wanted to take a helicopter for a lightning storm, which probably wasn't the best of ideas, but it's okay because the staff, of which there are many apparently, too many for him to remember all of their names, did recommend that he drive or be driven to the beach house safely.
In actuality, there's only like 2 members of staff, but he thinks there's loads because he's terrible with names and faces and just thinks they're all different people.
And whilst this all was going on, Daniel was creating his next masterpiece using the body of a literal Greek god as inspiration. And afterwards visited home to see his sister Amelia, who insisted that they would be travelling or attending a gala that she would be throwing. Lucky for him and Alexander. And then lucky as well for Millie, Thea and Winslow, as Aphrodite would be attending the same gala and wanted bodyguards. We wrapped up the episode by attending an aquarium where things weren't quite what they seemed. The staff being mythological figures, Cyclopsi, working there, merfolk, but also things like Hippocampi moving through the water, and then a literal god of the ocean jumping off the back of a whale that he was surfing upon out of some hair advert to appear before them. Millie did try to pet the whale, if I remember correctly, and that is about where we left it off. Zeus's weakness for women, but I'm not entirely certain that at this point in time that is something that is going to be distracting enough for him. He seems particularly hell-bent on raising...
Got a whole mat on, yeah.
Yeah. Families.
What do we do?
Do you know of anything that could help us maybe take Zeus down? Or something that might weaken him?
I would say as much as I'm discouraging you from visiting Zeus, from trying to free Nike, at a certain point freeing some of the individuals he does have under his wing may be necessary. If he doesn't have Hephaestus, for example, he can't send any more of those stupid golems he sent after me.
Yeah. Is
Do
there...
we know all of the gods that he has taken? Or gods? Does anybody kind of have the count?
Hermes, if anybody, would be the best one to check. I know he has Athena.
I neglected to get his phone number earlier.
I'm sure Aphrodite knows how to get a hold of him.
Probably. That's fair.
Yes. Getting a hold of individuals is one of her talents. But Athena, Hephaestus, Nike. The question is how many of them have separated themselves from the powers that Zeus is interested in? How many of them are hidden away from him? And how many
Obviously
of
not
them does he
Hephaestus.
have? Clearly not Hephaestus.
Well, I assume he doesn't have all of Nike's, because, I mean, if we got imbued with power, I'm pretty sure that you got your mom's.
Seems likely, yeah.
That may not be feeling particularly positive to you right now is a positive for us.
Yeah. Is there any way we could do recon? Or you could do? Figure
There,
out how they're being held, how they're guarded?
there are some that are perhaps still free enough to travel between the two. Again, Hermes is perhaps we have not given him enough credit for his ability to walk amongst us. Hermes perhaps is the next of us to find. If anybody could walk between here and Olympus, it would be him. If anybody could do so freely, it would be him.
Do you
So
have
unless
him on speed
he
dial,
has a
Aphrodite?
got it.
Aphrodite sort of has been wandering not far away, but just looking at the various exhibits. She seems particularly interested in a small coral reef exhibit at the moment. Very beautiful colours just everywhere. And she looks back and just nods slowly. Yes, but whether or not he answers is always his decision. Sometimes he goes on jaunts. He says he's delivering messages, and some of us are more difficult to find than others. It could be true. Some of us are responsible for some very strange things. But I can send him a message and try to set up a meeting, of course.
Thank you.
Are there any other places in town that we could visit that could possibly either have people that could help us or give us insight into what to do next?
Of course, dear. The gala. That's why we'll be going tomorrow.
Well, okay, yes.
Well, you don't think I'm just going to dance and to, show myself and try to meet pretty little things, do you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I only just met you.
I mean, from what we've heard about the other gods, if you're anything like them, quite possibly.
Daniel, would your sister invite people just to be there? Or would she invite people to move and shake and press power upon one another?
Choice, it would definitely be the second one. My sister has no friends, only tools, and people who have yet to become them.
Oh, that sounds lonely.
I can assure you it's not.
I
Right.
happen to have it on good authority that, well, she takes a few steps away from Poseidon and the water, which is difficult because of the environment they're in. Almost standing on a wooden picnic bench before saying, there's a certain snake-headed individual that does a lot of garden displays.
Medusa.
Yes.
Would Daniel have knowledge of an industry that produces incredibly lifelike lawn statues?
I will go one further and say Daniel's parents have probably bought incredibly lifelike garden statues.
Oh no, even I know about that one. Not that one, please. Can
do
can we
have to
not
worry
go
about
see this one?
looking in her eyes and becoming statues ourselves?
Daniel does some mental calculus. Well, I always did know my parents were monsters.
You found something, Daniel?
I just
No.
I just look at him like Daniel is not haunted by this. He's too weird for that. But he does look at Alex like he now knows something that he shouldn't know.
That statue of Uncle Hubert that
That's why he's been missing.
That's her Uncle Hubert.
down by the fountain.
Although his name wouldn't be Hubert, it'd be something like Bartholomew. Great Uncle Bartholomew still lives in the garden.
Well, anyone who's become a statue probably had it coming in some fashion or another.
Poseidon does look over at
Based on what?
Based on them attacking her.
Poseidon does look over at Millie.
Live in a
Stories are
different age,
accurate.
sir.
He looks visibly angry at the conversation, at the topic of conversation, and he sort of gestures ahead of them towards the aquarium. I have some glasses perhaps that might help you. Not
Alright.
nothing like a mirrored surface of a shield or anything quite so stupid as that, but
Well, as long as we can make eye contact.
yes.
Like something really silly, like their Polaroid like lenses in the glasses or something, and just technology has evolved and her stare doesn't work with those.
Obviously, the two of you know her better than us, but having read the stories, she got a raw deal.
Mhm.
How accurate are the mythologies?
Is it wisest to ask this question?
Of Poseidon, who turned
to the
her
one
into
who-
the Gorgon.
Is entirely like I'm just saying. Pick the person better.
Aphrodite over on the wooden bench, heels held carefully in her hand at this point, is sort of looking over at Winslow and just subtly kind of just
Asking for the most biased opinion in the best case scenario.
we can discuss this,
In the
this
worst
later, Winslow.
you
I have some books on mythology I can perhaps share with you, slightly more accurate, written from a first point perspective. Don't deal with the biases of time and humans and translations. We don't need to bother Poseidon with this.
Sure.
Poseidon just takes the first of several steps off of the sort of jetty that he's standing on and looks back. Well, would you all like a tour of the aquarium? And as I said, I can find you a pair of these glasses each.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Yes, please. Thank you, sir. Godlike person.
While walking around the aquarium, can Alexander summon his like power weapon in the violin form, and he's just like playing theme music for for Poseidon as he walks around,
Just
like
wipe out.
inspired by like the way the fish are swimming and things in the tank, and like everything that we're seeing along the way.
Under the sea.
Like you start strumming the violin and just
But as it's like
ha ha.
Make me a performance check. Let's have a look
Oh.
and see if you can.
God, what are my dice in this again? All right, let's have a look.
They're pretty good.
They are pretty good, I think. I think they are pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I have specialization as well, so that's nice. Critical 17.
A critical 17.
Yep. All right. I just had to click further on Google.
You walk around with this guitar held up to your chin.
It constantly shifts from guitar to violin, like as he writes different parts of the song.
Dude, imagine someone playing a guitar in their neck like a violin. Unmanageable.
Just strum this almost nonsensical theme tune, because how do you really compose a music to fish that just dart around in their own way? And you can even see storm clouds gathering above the aquarium as Poseidon seems to be getting grumpier.
Oh, I was gonna say it's
no.
like it would have been in like a sort of, I don't know if there is surfer music, but like a sort
Again,
of
Wipeout by the
surfery
Black
tone.
Eyed Peas.
Is Winslow upset that he maybe offended the guy who maybe committed sexual assault? No.
Again, if it was just a guy, it wouldn't be a problem.
You head towards the Hippocampi, but not through the tunnel. You're still on the surface, and as you walk towards the glass of the tank and the metal lip, Poseidon looks down and whistles, and 3 of them swim to the surface, though you only saw one swimming about. He retrieves from the pocket of his swimming shorts some treats that he scatters about for them and looks across at all of you. Do any of you swim?
Yeah,
Have the skill.
I surf too.
Really?
I can swim.
Yes, I can swim. Not very well, but I can swim.
I can swim 10 feet.
Okay, I can swim better than that.
You
Just-
feel a sudden rush of water hit your back, catch you with energy, with pressure, and it seems to catch you and lift you, almost as if it is a hand, almost as if it has physical presence. All of you
Oh.
lift you about 10 foot above the middle of the tank that the Hippocampi are in, and drops you.
Ah, can this thing get wet? Oh, holding the power weapon above the water.
Dismiss that, Alexander.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn into a dive.
As Daniel falls into the water, as things happen behind him, and he just has Yunorikami's straight face as he goes upside down before falling to what could be his doom. I'll send the gif later, but
Winslow, make me an athletics check for that dive. I'm going to give you, if you haven't already got it, I'm going to give you edge.
Ooh, all right. 14.
You manage to turn it into a dive as you are released by this sort of hand of water and land almost without a splash, piercing the surface and sliding down sort of 15-20 foot beneath the surface before you see the 3 hippocampi swimming towards the group of you.
Eve absolutely, like, very quickly slithered into the bag and Millie zipped up the little holes because Eve don't like water.
Not a water snack.
It's desert snake.
The rest of you treading water, what do you do?
I swim towards the hippocampi to try and pet a hippocampi.
I mean, he can't swim very well, so he's desperately trying to like doggy paddle towards the hippocampi, but he's not really going anywhere.
So you can swim as per normal, as long as you don't need like any sort of skill check or anything like that. You haven't got
little
a
bit.
natural swim speed, so you can still
Lily's
swim.
doing the frog stroke, trying to get down to them.
Just for funsies, he's not doing very well.
And Daniel?
Daniel will be going along with them for lack of a better thing to do. He's now in the ocean. He's now in the water.
I was waiting for Daniel just sinks.
Just like,
Daniel can swim. He has the ability. He's not like an Olympic level swimmer, but anyone raised around water learns to swim at some point.
it's not difficult. The water is fairly sedate. You know, it's not the ocean. There's no real waves coming in at you at this point in time. There is a wave machine in the tank, but it's not currently on. And you're able to swim towards your destination, each of you. Winslow, being the deepest one down, you can sort of see everything around you. Make me an alertness check with a downshift.
That's just a D20. Let's go. Well, 13.
No, 13's still good. Okay. You see off towards the corner of the tank, where the sides meet, near where Poseidon is standing, where you were all standing, there is another Hippocampi. This one seems to be not quite hiding, but definitely not swimming towards anybody. And although it's difficult to make out because of the way that the water kind of obscures everything and warps things, you can see what appears to be some sort of kelp bandaging wrapped around its tail. Millie, make me that animal handling. Let's see how well the Hippocampi meeting goes.
Want to do? Well, wait, that gave me an upshift. God damn it. I don't know why it keeps on giving me an upshift I shouldn't have.
I think you
Hello?
should have it, don't you? You have one of the. Don't you have the back or influence or whatever? Animal.
Oh, that's right.
Person?
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, 22.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, if you're really familiar with it, you get another upshift, I do believe.
Gotcha.
22. Yeah, you're able to swim close enough to this school of hippocampi.
Heard?
Pod? I think it would be a little pod like dolphins.
We'll go with pod of hippocampi. So that's a really curious.
What do you call a group of manatee?
What do you call a group of manatee?
I think it's something goofy. Give me a second.
Oh, I thought you had the answer to that question then. I was really like, okay,
An aggregation.
an aggregation.
Yes.
You swim up to the. We're going to go with pod. You swim up to the pod of hippocampi, and the first one sort of passes past you on its way towards Alexander, but the second stops, kind of nudges you as you reach out for it, and then turns slowly so that you can actually hold on, almost like a real horse.
Are we still underwater?
You are on the surface.
Okay. I was going to say, because we might need to breathe.
That's a question I'm going to have soon. But
It is a question you can answer. What do you do when this hippocampi basically turns itself into a mount for you?
I'm gonna hug it real tight and then say, "Let's have some fun," and see what he does.
Alexander, as this hippocampi moves towards you, what do you want to do?
I'll reach out to pay him.
Make me an
Looks
animal
cute.
handling check, please.
Ooh, I have a D4 in this. Excellent. I got a 6.
Like a 6 total.
Yeah, I got a 4 on the D20 and a 2 on the D4.
You go to reach out, and as you do, you grab a hold of something that it doesn't like, almost like you've grabbed a hold of its mane, sharply, and it thrashes. And as it does, as its tail slaps at the water, it kicks you back, not physically, but with the shock of the water. And I'm going to say you take one stun damage, so you got no move action. So you're going to take
Sink.
a little bit of a sink.
Bleep, 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 bleep.
You're okay because you can hold your breath for, oddly, a number of minutes equal to 1 plus your brawn dice type.
I have no brawn dice.
That's still 1 minute.
I got 3 minutes.
Look, 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 look.
This is the method in which Poseidon provides people with the anti-Medusa glasses.
He drowns them first.
Drowns them to see if they're, yeah. And Daniel, as this third hippocampi swims towards you, what are you going to do?
Ride it like a skateboard.
I will say what's your skating?
My skating, D6 specialized in athletics, in acrobatics. It's an acrobatics die.
I will say do me an acrobatics check, but without the specialization, unless you want to spend a story point for.
Yeah, no. Acrobatics check with that specialization I can do. Ha! That sucks. 7.
You
Sea mammals don't like us.
try to grab a hold of it as it swims past you, but because of the way the water is distorting everything as you move your arm, thinking that you're at the right angle, you just kind of reach past, misjudge it, and it swims past you, unfortunately, leaving you kind of flailing in the water for a moment as you kind of slap at it instead.
As Millie zooms past, holding on to him.
Millie's living her best life on the back of this hippocampi. It's just
Just zooms past and kick flips it.
Winslow, there's 2 of these things currently swimming about on the sort of surface of the water. You can see that Alexander has sunk, 10, 15 foot. Just seems to be a bit of a dead weight, but he is okay. Daniel doesn't seem to do doing particularly or riding them, but there is still that one over in the corner as well that doesn't want to approach anybody. So you've got choices. That is, if you even want to ride a hippocampi.
I mean, it's a hippocampi. I guess that, we have to try.
Challenge one to a race.
I think, yeah, let's go for the hiding one. Why not? Let's go for hard mode with my snag.
As you
Carefully and calmly approach Heidi Boy.
make me an animal handling check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
That was
15.
15. I like that.
Yeah.
With the snag, roll a 15
With
and a
snag.
17, so you still do pretty well. You kind of
You're
reach
not
your hands
really.
out to it to show that there's nothing in them, there's nothing to be worried about, and after a few seconds, it does sort of lean forward and nudge your hands, licks one of them as if it's looking for something to eat, and then it doesn't quite turn around so that you can ride atop it like the one that Millie is on. But it does let you hold on to its sort of where its neck meets its torso, kind of like the shoulders, and pulls you back up towards the surface of the water. A little bit safer, able to breathe now, no longer needing to hold your breath. And
Yeah. Pops up completely unwinded. Where are we going?
you see Millie still riding about on the one that she's on. Alexander, are you going to make another attempt? Or are you going to try
I'm going
and...
to, yes, I'm going to attempt to re-engage the thingy-booby, the hippocampi. Very calmly and gently, and just try and coax it into giving me a hand. Got 9.
You have the skill. Amazing.
Yeah, I rolled a 6 on the D20 and a 3 on the D4.
This is sad days for Alexander.
It is sad days for Alexander. This is what happens when he's still like trying to tread water and keep his guitar from
Violin dry.
drowning. Yeah.
Do these things have like blowholes like a dolphin? Yeah.
They're horsefish.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
they
okay.
have gills
The
somewhere.
place-
Yeah.
The
Gills
place where
make-
the blowhole would be is horse.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like hydro pumps, like his blowhole and just blast me away. Just like Alexander's rocket off. Yeah, that blasting off again. Whee!
It does the very typical, unfortunately, thing to do for a horse when it's unhappy with somebody that keeps getting in its face.
I wasn't getting in his
Shoots them
face. I
with
was
a
very,
9mm.
I was very gentle and very calm.
It makes a bite at Alex. Which quite possibly isn't going to work, but we're going to try, and we're going to roll the dice, and we're going to see what they
Now,
say.
that could
I-
take your finger off.
I am squishy as fuck.
I rolled an 8 to see whether or not it would succeed at biting at you. So I think you're
then
okay.
no.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Hey, Mill, since they're animals like you want to give our boy here a hand?
God,
I
blasted
come by
water
with mine,
ponies.
and I like try and reach out and grab Alexander's hand to let him join me on the back of this hippocampi.
Accidentally just snatches the guitar out of my hand and flies off past me.
Why are you still holding the key?
No, my weapon. I'm defenseless against this horse.
Daniel, how about yourself? What are you going to do? Oh, I think you might be muted.
I am just going to swim.
You're just going to
Still no
swim?
sound?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna swim there.
Okay.
So they wait for approximately 45 minutes as I slowly make my way to them.
In your waterproof suit, just like plodding along. Whilst
Oh, wait,
the
were
others...
were they not that far? I thought they like zoomed off because water horses.
Yeah.
They're still in a aquarium enclosure, so it's fairly big, but not that far away.
Okay, then they wait approximately 20 minutes as I very slowly freestyle my way over.
Millie and Winslow, make me an athletics or acrobatics or an animal handling check.
Oh, I'm not doing the third one.
I am. Critical 23.
Jesus Christ. Critical 21.
Well, hey. Okay. You look at home on these hippocampi, and as you're moving about, you find yourself being watched, and you feel Poseidon's gaze upon you Aphrodite seems to be shouting at him, make me an alertness check. I'll say all of you can make me an alertness check. Alexander and Daniel, I'm going to say with a downshift because there's probably a bit of water in your ears the way you're kind of having to keep yourselves.
So do I just automatically fail then?
Are
Yeah,
you
I
on?
fail.
Okay, if you've got.
I don't have anything in alertness.
Yeah, then automatically
So-
fail for yourself then.
Can I
If
roll
I-
specialized with my perception?
Yeah?
If I only have a D2, do I roll with snag with the
No, because
downshift?
you're still trained, so you just roll one flat d20.
18.
10.
It turns out if you take away my skill dice, mate, and we're good to rumble.
You said that, but you
15.
rolled a 6 on the last one, just for the record on the d20.
Listen, okay, that's when I rolled a skill dice with it.
All three of you hear Aphrodite she is tearing into Poseidon for basically endangering your lives, for throwing you in there the way he did, for just deciding to dump you into this tank without knowing whether or not you could actually swim well enough to keep yourselves afloat. And it's kind of like the, family argument style it's divulging into earlier. I can't believe you did this. This is just like that time you destroyed, my temple. You just got angry because they were worshipping me more than you, and you just decided to flood the whole thing. And it's just
I imagine
crazier.
Aphrodite has him in kind of a headlock, but it's not working because he's just too big.
She's
She's
got
kind
him.
of dangling
Yeah.
off him. She's kind of dangling off him,
standing
like
on her tiptoes because she can't actually pull him down, but she's got his head, and he's just kind of looking a bit chastised, but in that, yeah, okay then, whatever kind of way.
Just like, look at this shit. Look
We'll
what
do
you've
it
done.
again.
The bloody pink one's going to get eaten. They're vegetarians. They don't eat meat. But somehow he's going to get eaten.
know that horses
Only
are
just got that
omnivores.
instrument, and he's going to get destroyed. When you find yourself being pulled towards the side of the tank by the Hippocampi, and when you get to the edge, Poseidon does reach down and grasp a hold of your arm to pull you up one at a time. And when he does so,
Millie goes for another circuit.
he's just like, no,
And closing
never.
it, coming over.
When he does so for Millie and Winslow, you find in your hand a charm, almost like something you'd find in the aquarium gift shop. It seems to be made out of seashell, and it's in the shape of a hippocampi.
It gets hung off of Millie's snake back.
Unfortunately for Alexander and Daniel, he doesn't have anything, although he does sort of look at the two of you and he's just... Usually my friends are very good judges of character. They do seem to think that you are not too bad, but perhaps you could do better with
Yeah.
animals.
I mean, perhaps next time don't just dunk us in a cold tank of water.
Which is not that
Daniel
cold.
Daniel doesn't say anything, but he thinks back to the last time he saw his sister kick a puppy, which was approximately 3 days ago.
That does seem like an Amelia thing to do.
Wasn't out of malice or anything. There was just a puppy in her way, and she like punted it with how fast and strong her stride was.
Poseidon does look at Winslow and Millie and just says, I'd keep a hold of that just in case you ever need to get anywhere quickly.
Good time.
You might find it's ever so slightly useful.
All right. Thank you.
Now, where were we? The tour, yes, of course.
A change of clothes might be nice first.
Just
Unless you
I
can
mean,
magically
he's-
do something about the wetness.
He's
Daniel
literally
is
the
just
god of the ocean, so he probably has like magic unwater powers.
Daniel is just completely
Unwater
dry.
me.
Poseidon looks at you and he's like, I could pull the water from your clothes and place it back in a tank, but do you know what else you could do? It's a beautiful day. You could take the shirt off and just lay it out to dry.
But then what would I wear?
He walks over towards a trolley, like a cleaning trolley, and pulls a t-shirt off of it, and it's the aquarium logo on the front. It's got fish, like bits of dry fish scale and stuff on it, where things have been cut up to be fed to things, and it
The
don't
height of
look
fashion.
great, but it looks to be about your size, especially after he kind of tugs it out a little bit to stretch it and then throws it over to you.
Just steps out of the way. I'd much rather you do that pulling the water out of the clothes thing, but if not, I suppose I'll just stay wet then, shall I?
Well, your choice.
Kind of feel like there are other options. You're just unwilling to help, but okay.
I just pull my shirt off, wring it out.
Just turns to Daniel like, I do not
Uh,
like this aquarium.
You find that
Daniel is completely dry.
Winslow flexes a bit while he's wringing his shirt out, just cause.
you find that you are given options. You are given choices, and if you choose to throw them away, sidestep them, I'll respect that.
Real talk, I really wanted to run to my closet and grab one of my Aloha shirts and just put it on, because the idea of Daniel in an Aloha shirt is really funny. But I'm not. Look, it's currently like 5 degrees, feels like
Yeah.
-4.
Don't do
Like
that.
I'm not.
Don't do that. We'll just imagine Daniel in a Hawaiian shirt.
But he's drinking like a pina colada out of a pineapple.
I mean, Billy was just in a tank top and shorts, so they'll dry quickly.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
And wait, Alex, weren't you also wearing one of the waterproof suits? Because I know Daniel was.
I don't think he said he was.
Don't think I said I was, no.
Poseidon takes you through his tour towards the break room, where you see 3 different Cyclops just sitting about drinking what looks to be hot chocolate and coffee. Not one drinking hot chocolate, one drinking coffee. No, they're drinking a combination of hot chocolate and coffee.
Billy is immediately intrigued.
I mean, yeah,
In
it's interesting.
like mugs that are like this big as well.
I mean, if you're gonna do it right.
One of them's got little marshmallows floating on the top. It's just, can we get you anything? Do you need anything to drink? We've got some breakfast snacks. There's some lockers over there with some extra clothes if you do want to change. Shorts. We've probably got some like Hawaiian shirts. There's no
I'll take a
suits.
pina colada.
We'll
You want
take a
pina
look.
colada?
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
I'm sure we can whip you up a pina
Pop.
colada.
I'm gonna
So-
pop over to the lockers and get
Yeah, like-
a just slightly too small Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, jump transition. Daniel is now in like board shorts and like a red Hawaiian shirt with pink flowers, aviator sunglasses, and a pina colada inside a pineapple.
Alexander's in the bathroom at the hand dryer.
Jesus.
The
But yeah,
Poseidon-
whatever that they're drinking, that looks good.
Poseidon gets a great big breakfast burger, and it's just like sausage,
Oh my god.
bacon. You can see what looks to be like almost omelets of eggs in there with cheese and possibly steak, tomatoes, mushrooms, everything you could possibly want, and he's just chomping his way through it whilst
Ate 2 of those?
I'll have one minus the sausage.
Yeah, no sausage, extra bacon. Yeah.
Yes.
One of
just-
what he said.
he just keeps
Pardon me,
chomping
do you
away.
have... Pardon me, do you have a grill anywhere?
But you can see one of those kind of like camping grills in the corner where a one of the Cyclops is standing preparing all of this foods. Another one is getting the coffee, hot chocolate combinations ready for Millie and Winslow. There's like a giant saucepan full of it. So he's just ladling it into 2 of these great big mugs for them.
Daniel's going to start drunk cooking.
Oh boy.
Make me a performance check for Daniel's drunk cooking.
Do a few aquariums. They've never had food like this.
Well, no, I doubt many
mean,
of them had the
Poseidon
stuff we
does
do.
look like he loves the protein, so it makes sense.
19.
True.
You kind of somehow, considering the Cyclops is at least 2 foot taller than you and at least a foot, if not 2 foot wider than you at the shoulder, you kind of just slide in and edge it out of the way, just and take over. And you prepare Winslow and Millie's breakfast burgers and Alexander's. And somehow it is one of the best things that they have eaten in their lives.
Oh, I love it when he drunk cooks.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I will never in my life play a character that cannot cook.
On the table, there's like bottles of ketchup and brown sauce and mustard. There's salt, there's pepper, there's the whole
There better
place.
be hot sauce.
There's hot sauce. The whole place has kind of like a low-end diner kind of feel. The furniture doesn't match. It's all a bit beaten up. You see over at one of the other tables, someone's got their feet up on there with their work boots. But everybody looks happy. Everybody looks comfortable. And it's just a really nice environment. Everybody's kind of chilled out and relaxed. And Poseidon is just munching his way through the second of his breakfast burgers, this one taken from Daniel. And he's kind of... You can come work here for me anytime you want.
Daniel
Full-time
toasts
cook.
him. Daniel like toasts him the pina colada and like downs his 4th one. Throws the pineapple behind him and picks up another pineapple. Daniel is day drinking at the beach.
Yeah.
Poseidon does, after a few minutes of eating, of drinking one of his own cups of coffee, hot chocolate combination, sort of wiping at his beard with one beefy hand, he looks over at the rest of you and waits for you to finish eating before. So, yeah, I guess we're all done here. No more questions.
I mean, those like anti-Medusa goggles, but
The goggles,
Gorgon
yeah.
glasses.
Gorgon glasses, yeah. Oh, Gorgon
out of-
glasses.
Out of curiosity, I grabbed a pair of aviators from the locker room. What do I have to roll to make it so that I just picked up a pair of Gorgon glasses?
I'm going to say nothing, okay? Because you've seen like big glasses on all of the Cyclops when they've been walking around You possibly been to the aquarium before, and you've seen most of these staff walking around before with big pairs of glasses on to keep their eyes safe from the sun. And they are polarized because you want to be able to see into the water. Okay, any of the glare from the sunlight off the water's reflection, and the frames you noticed when you picked them up, they do seem to be not designer, but the frames themselves seem to be made of rare metals. Yours, you're fairly certain, are actually platinum, inlaid on the frames with bits of coral, and the lenses are like ruby red. And as you look around, everything just looks kind of just a little bit clearer.
When Millie puts hers on.
Are they actual love hearts, or are they just kind of?
Yes, they're
KR?
actual hearts.
I thought they were. He does. He just goes over to the lockers and just fetches a random 5 pairs of glasses and hands them over. And there's like a pair of love heart glasses for Millie. What do you get, Winslow?
The Men in Black shades.
Alexander?
I want to say something really stupid, like a pair of Elton John glasses or something, because Poseidon's just completely fucking with Alexander at this point.
Very
like-
flamboyant, very kind of over the top, slightly too big, and very
Like,
colourful.
there were
Has
no other
flame
pairs
motif
available.
coming off the edges.
Yeah, I didn't have any others. There's just these ones that
Yeah.
that are the words "I suck" with like holes in the eye holes in the side.
And then yet he gives a pair to Thea that are just, they look fantastic. They've got almost like little stars in them that when you look a little bit closer, you realise they're like engraved, but it almost looks like there's pearls inside the actual frame, so that the engravings show off the pearls in the stars. And yet this is what he gave to you.
Like, are you sure there's not another pair? I mean,
No,
please?
I did look, and unfortunately, no, not a single other pair of glasses in any of those lockers.
You don't have to check. I checked.
And like 5 seconds later, one of the Cyclops walks over to a locker, opens it up, picks up a pair of shades that look fantastic. They're-
He opens the locker and just like loads of glasses fall out.
yeah, half a dozen pairs that he gets to pick from. He puts them in his hands. It's just like just a little bit bigger than normal, and kind of tries to judge which ones he wants. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of feeling like a Ray-Ban-y kind of day.
You know that scene in Mask where he opens the door and all the money falls out? That, but sunglasses.
It's just,
I really don't like these people. Could we leave? I don't like this place.
What do you mean?
Pretentious get treated as such. And Millie walks out.
If you like pina colada.
Even Daniel's actually having a good time.
he is welcome back at any point he would like to come, especially if he's drunk. It seems to be his cooking actually gets better.
He actually becomes a somewhat tolerable person when he's drunk.
Yeah, full-time cooking,
Poseidon's plan is to have Daniel wasted 24/7.
we do have karaoke nights.
Oh, I'd pay good money to see drunk Daniel karaoke.
He would have to learn to swim a little bit better, but we could work on that. All of us here are very good swimmers.
It's really hard to swim drunk, guys.
You say that, but Poseidon picks up like his 5th or 6th beer as he's standing there, and it's just like,
Millie has found the hot chocolate and made just straight hot chocolate. Hot chocky.
But the coffee makes it better.
Aphrodite reappears, and it's now that you realise that you actually haven't seen her since she was berating Poseidon at the edge of the pool. She doesn't have glasses, though she does kind of look at all of you and sort of stop and look at Alexandra and look at Poseidon, and she's just sort of like, did you not have anything that he could, look a bit more presentable at a gala with?
Just like, please stop bullying the poor rangers.
This looks stupid.
It's weird that Aphrodite has somehow become Team Mom.
But if this is all we have, then I guess we'll have to take it or leave it.
Alexander's just like kind of snuck off to the giant that went to the locker, and he's very nicely asking him if he can swap glasses with him.
Make me
Alexander,
a persuasion.
Alexander, listen to me. Alexander, listen.
Yes, Daniel.
If you're wearing the hideous shades, my sister will be less inclined to try to ask to marry you.
Never mind, Mr. Giant. Thank you for your time.
The more of a fool you appear in public, the worse the political marriage would turn out for her.
Poseidon, you've unknowingly given me my greatest gift.
He's helping. Like I'm like one arm slung around Daniel, pointing out. He's helping.
Out of curiosity, do you whisper this? Is this...
He thinks he's whispering.
it's a drunken whisper.
Drunken whisper. It's like,
shh. I have a secret. Shh. Don't tell anybody.
Millie leans into Winslow and Thea and is like, so we have Operation Make Alexander Unappealing. Got it.
I mean, yeah, Daniel's sister does sound pretty terrible. So
is it strange that Daniel makes more sense when he's drunk than normal?
Little do you realize how much
Amelia would be the big bad.
Little do you realize it takes so much focus and concentration to be as pretentious and like out there as Daniel is. So you get him liquored up and suddenly he can't do it anymore.
He's a normal person.
the facade falls away.
He's still an artist, so he is still a weirdo, but like he's like a normal weirdo. A
little weird,
an understandable weirdo.
Poseidon finishes his drink, places the bottle down on the table, and looks at you all, and he does one last kind of like stretch that's just kind of a little bit kind of flexing, and then I wish you luck at your gala tomorrow. I do not expect those glasses back. Perhaps they will help you see things a little bit more clearly in our community. But fingers crossed, you survive your encounter.
Thank you, Sir Poseidon. My sister is a bitch.
I think he meant Medusa, but probably that too. Yeah.
No, he meant his sister.
Millie walks
What
forward.
if we introduce your sister to Medusa?
Both of Alexander and Daniel and trying to like pull them away from Poseidon and out the door.
Help! This child is kidnapping me.
With your meet and greet with Poseidon over, one of your numbers slightly wetter than the others, Aphrodite leads you out of the aquarium past the actual visitors to the aquarium who are now beginning to walk through the open doors, past turnstiles. A few of them stop and look at Alexander, who's sort of still dripping water in his path. A few others do stop and look at Daniel in his Hawaiian shirt, slightly intoxicated, and the fact that you're all leaving whilst they're entering and just decide that apparently the staff had a very good morning setup, because nobody really questions it. Aphrodite leads you to the place you met, not too far from the entrance, and before she climbs into her own car, she looks across at all of you and just says, some of the stories that have been recorded through history have been changed, as I said, translations,
Mm-hmm.
perceptions by the people that did write the translations. You know, some words do get kind of altered by choice, but Poseidon and Medusa do have a complicated relationship. Best not to ask him, and doubly so
Sure.
not to mention him in her presence. I definitely wouldn't tell her that the glasses you're wearing to protect yourself against her come from him.
Or yeah.
The very fact that he has them probably won't make her very happy.
Yeah.
Can we, if she asks, can we tell her they're from you? It'd be fine. Or Hermes, maybe?
I will
Somebody less.
put my hand up to it. Hephaestus makes such weird things for me from time to time that perhaps, yes,
Okay,
best to
only if
say,
she brings it up.
yeah, if she brings it up, best to say they are from me. Do please
Yeah.
remember that. She does tend to use her own items, things that she's gotten over the years, her own tradings with Hephaestus and others, to make herself appear more mundane, more mortal.
Mm-hmm.
But she also does have a bit of a theme. Much like you, Millie, she does like snakes. So she should be easy to recognize, and she will be looking out for me, as I will for her, because we have some dealings to make.
Eve
Yes,
sneaks
yeah.
up on my shoulder and like nods her head like we friends.
So we're not going to see her now? We're waiting for the gala?
I personally
In a natural way.
do not think it would be a good idea to walk into her domain. I think it would be best to meet at a slightly safer, more neutral third-party location. This is how such things are done between creatures such as
Could
us.
Sure,
you
but everything I've heard about this party sounds like it's fraught with peril.
A different kind of peril.
could you perchance give us a way to try and contact Hermes, and we can see if he'll go between with her to find the place?
Of course. She glances down at her phone and will use the lovely NFC technology to send it to any and everybody who wishes to have a copy of his number.
Yeah.
Sends it to me, and I just put it in the bitches channel.
You do notice that it does actually spell out Hermes. It's not very complicated. There's a lot of extra numbers in there, but somewhere in the middle, it does spell out Hermes.
Now
He
800 Hermes.
can sometimes be a little bit difficult to get a hold of, but if you send him a message now with any luck, I have told him that you do wish to speak to him. Perhaps you'll be lucky.
Winslow, you've talked to him more. Do you want to send a message?
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
Do we know that Winslow talked to him? You mentioned
I-
that. Correctly.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, I will text Hermes. Hey, dude, Nike's kid. We need to talk.
Need to meet with Medusa. Millie suggests.
Yeah.
So that he knows what we need to talk about.
Well, that and so many things. But yeah, I need to
You
meet and greet with Medusa.
get a response back almost immediately. It's almost like having had Aphrodite's message, he was expecting yours and was waiting for it.
Oh damn! I thought he was the kind of guy to text back right away. I was like, let's go.
And it's a map with a pin, and it's a gym about 25 minutes drive away.
All right. Guess we're meeting Hermes at a gym.
I would be fine in a gym. I may not look it, but I'm strong.
Maybe.
Punching those robot things.
You all pile into the car.
Yeah.
Yarrick is waiting. Yarrick, no longer in his old man guise, is wearing a lovely fitted suit, a nice pair of sunglasses, and looked to have been dozing. But as you approach, he straightens up a little bit and turns the ignition in the car, gets out, opens the doors for Daniel. Not for anybody else, but for Daniel.
I would like to say that as we see Yarick and the camera pans to everyone else, as it goes to me, I'm somehow immediately back in my suit and not like and stone sober.
I was going to say, can Alexander have like just like a bit that pops out the back of the boot with like a change of clothes?
Yeah, one of his multiple suitcases
Mhm.
were full of clothes.
This is why you prepare for these sort of occasions.
Is there gym clothes in
You
there?
anticipated getting thrown into a body of water?
There's definitely not gym clothes in there.
With you all piled into the car, he drives you
T-track
to the
suit.
gym. Doesn't need to park because he's in the vehicle, but he does let you out.
On the way there, I lean over to Millie and like stage whisper, I already miss Fun Daniel.
Can we call him when he's drunk Fandle?
When you make it to the gym, he pulls up outside, gets out, opens the door for you all. On the street side, like the road side, not the road side, on the pavement side, of course, because that's safe, not on the road side, because that'd be dangerous. Helps you all out of the car and turns to Daniel before saying, I'll just make sure to keep the engine running and I'll just drive around, perhaps make sure that I'm close by in case you need a quick pickup, sir.
Appreciate it. You're as good as the day we hired you, Yarick.
Why, thank you, sir. It was a lot of training involved and a bit of an adjustment to working with your family, of course, your father indeed, but I'm glad I work for you and not your sister.
Is there this is a weird question to ask, but is there like an in-house like text thread or relationship between like the staff of the mansion who are like god like people complaining after work being like these guys are so weird?
100%.
It's like, look, Daniel is a freak, but he's not his family, so like Yarick got the good assignment.
And Yorick is probably one of the only members of staff that isn't involved in it because, like, yeah, the family's kind of freakish, but he actually likes Daniel. He likes the job. And
Except doing the old man bit.
He's not, a, he's not a fan of the old man bit, but like
he
I've
doesn't
seen the old
dislike
man
it.
bit work wonders.
Yeah, it's just a bit taxing, you know. It hurts his back a little bit. It's not great for his knees. The gym has, it's all very broken down looking from the outsides. It's bare brick walls. There's a sign. The gym is called the God of War.
Oh no.
Oh, great. Did Hermes just send us to Ares?
Heirs.
We hope it's the reasonable one.
All right. Well,
Because
Millie heelies up
if
to
it's
the
Athena,
door and
we're in
opens it.
trouble.
nothing to do but do. Head on in.
With Millie leading the way, you enter into this gym. There's no reception desk. There is nobody waiting to greet you. Because there was no windows, the whole sort of outside of the building just being bare brickwork and door. When you walk in, this is your first real chance to look at the gym itself. And it's kind of got that CrossFit vibe to it. There's lots of different areas to work out in. There's lots of like kettlebells about, there's tires, there's a couple of sledgehammers, there's ropes to climb, there's bars to do pull-ups on. You can see a couple of people hitting a heavy bag in one corner. But then right at the back, you can see people throwing honest to God javelins, like actual javelins at targets against the wall. There's
Nice.
there doesn't seem to be an electronic machine anywhere in the gym, either as equipment or, you know, nobody's filming their routine. Nobody's got a phone out making any notes or taking any pictures. Nobody's flexing in front of a mirror. Everybody is there working out, and whilst none of them look like they'd be in a film alongside like Arnold Schwarzenegger or anything like that, they all look like they could run 10, 20, 30 miles, still pick up a weapon at the end of it and fight a battle.
I might have to join this gym.
I feel like Ares wouldn't have mirrors in his gym.
Absolutely not.
This is not a place of vanity. This is a place of war.
No, he would still have mirrors to check form because form is key.
You just have someone else do that though.
But they could be working
wouldn't
out.
Listen, I don't
people
think Ares would have a
supplement.
workout partner. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Ares would duplicate.
His workout partner is Aphrodite.
Gross.
Funny, Panic, your mind went to the same place mine did. Like, could he clone himself and just spot himself?
He absolutely would.
He just Kagabush no jutsu.
If you're talking about spotting, Ares would not practice safe gym anything. He would never use a spotter. Ares 100% subscribes to the idea that like, look, if this thing guillotines me, that's how it was meant to happen.
What does not kill me can only make me stronger.
Nobody really pays attention as you come in. They're all too busy doing their own thing. They're all working out. They're all moving between different setups. but you do see one door open at the back, and a skinnier but still well-built man in a pair of running trainers, a tracksuit, come walking in from the
Ryan
back.
Reynolds.
Yep. Hair swept backwards perfectly. He's got a t-shirt on with a pair of little wings on the front of it. And Winslow, you recognize him straight away. The rest of you, it takes a second longer, but only because you've not seen him in mortal clothes.
I neglected to mention that Hermes looks a lot like Ryan Reynolds. Maybe they're related.
Or some such celebrity. I truly don't remember. I could have made that up. I could have made that up.
It's canon now.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
son of Nike, you called? You wish for a meeting?
yeah, we're coming.
Mind the everything. Don't stand on anybody's toes.
Yeah, I've been in a gym before.
I just pictured that the one nod to the recent trends in gyms is a juice and protein bar.
I would say 100%.
But the protein is just steak.
The protein is various cuts of raw meat.
It's like there's a juice bar. You know, it's just like fruit
There's
piled
just-
up everywhere and
There's just a
vegetables
bunch
and
of fruit.
stuff.
You have to break it with your hands.
And then there's a grill and like a fridge full of meat. And that's the protein part of the protein bar.
DIY
Yeah.
protein bar.
I like to imagine at some point Daniel is like on like one end of a barbell that someone is lifting.
Just come on.
Just sitting there, sitting on it, being lifted like he weighs nothing.
Alexander is getting tired watching everyone.
Hermes leads you through a door that says employees only. And
Do you work here?
do I look like I work here with all of these muscle-bound? No, these.
I'm just checking. Like, this is pretty obviously Ares' place, so.
Yes, but I had deliveries to make. I'm a very busy man.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
You know,
I get it. And thank you for meeting us.
you're very welcome. It was either this or a phone call, and I thought face to face was probably easier. He leads you into an office that is Spartan, and by that I mean,
Waka.
yeah, by that I mean there is a shield as a table. There's chairs, but they don't look like they're comfortable or meant to be sitting for long periods of time. There's no desk, there's no computer, but there are spears and swords arrayed against the wall. So you wish to meet Medusa?
Poseidon said it could be useful for us to meet with her.
Yes, whether we actually want to or not is a different thing.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out our next steps in all of this and, stopping you-know-who, getting my mom back.
Like, obviously, tomorrow night, the gala at Amelia's that Aphrodite has contracted us to be bodyguards for. Well, 3 of us. The other 2 are legit invited because it's Daniel's sister. Which, okay. But, yeah. Beyond that, we really don't know what we're doing.
At all. On top of speaking with Medusa, we need someone or a way to get some recon on where Zeus is holding all of these.
Well, we know he's holding them on Olympus. We need a more complete list on who he's
Yeah, who he's holding, where, how are they guarded? Is it eventually? I'm assuming we're gonna have to go there and break shit, and having a map would be great.
And also someone that could get
And
in there.
Poseidon, mentioned the obvious, that you are the obvious choice. You're able to easily go anywhere you want, really.
Just to be clear here, because I want to make sure that we are... You wish for me to play as a spy for you?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to stop Zeus, yeah.
Of course I want to stop Zeus,
Or
but
if you know of
Or if you know someone else who can do it,
that is
but
more suited to gaining us this information.
Yeah.
Because we need to know what we're up against, since he can force the willingness of those he's taken. And like, we know Nike, Athena, and Hephaestus, but it's Zeus. He's obviously taken more.
yeah.
yes, it does
Who
take
else?
him
Who's
time,
next?
and he can only focus on one at a time. But yes, he is able to bend them, twist them to his will.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, if we could, I mean, obviously we're in no shape to go up against all that yet, but down the road it is something we will need to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know we're asking a lot, but
have any other advice or people
Yeah.
we should see to maybe beef ourselves up to get to that point? And I know I just said beef us up while in a gym. This is a very obvious point.
Yes, I'm sure Ares would give you some sort of workout schedule, but there are other alternatives. Did Poseidon explain why he believes you should seek out Medusa?
Not in so many words.
That does sound like Poseidon. All he likes to leap before he acts, or likes to leap before he thinks, rather.
we were trying to figure out what to do next, and he suggested that.
But we can also understand why he wouldn't go into more of why Medusa specifically, because of their past.
Do you know the story of Perseus and the Gorgon?
Should we roll cultures text to know if we do?
I mean, I don't remember the whole thing offhand, but let me think.
Ooh, 19?
17 with a snag.
Apparently, I'm distracted. So much for that degree.
Ooh, Perseus. Is that the one with the Kraken?
Perseus is the one who Athena loaned her shield to.
Right.
A
How did I
shield
forget that?
polished to a mirror sheen. And you remember the story of Perseus using this shield as a mirror to protect himself from Medusa's gaze.
We did get these glasses. And Millie puts hers on.
Those are fantastic. And I would definitely keep them. They should allow you to see through any disguise. that not only would Medusa be wearing, but any others at the party perhaps. But Perseus's shield is an artifact that Medusa has in her possession. And it's not so much Perseus's shield as it is Athena's shield. The shield of a goddess. A shield of great power. Power that you could use to beef yourself up.
Okay, did he send us to steal the shield and fail to mention that? Because I'm not stealing from Medusa.
He may not have intended for you to steal it. He may have, to be fair, he may have intended for you to steal it. He may have intended for you to challenge her to a duel, a fight. But there are many ways to gain such an artifact. Medusa herself is at the party to try and gather such things.
Mm.
There are collectors. I do believe your family, even Daniel, collects things from different kingdoms.
Where do you
Jewelry.
think she falls on this whole situation with Zeus and his shenanigans?
There's no way that she wins by drawing
If Zeus
attention
wins.
to herself.
Well, that too.
Zeus wants attention drawn to them. Zeus wants the old stories brought anew.
Okay. It's what I thought, but yeah, it seems like it's in her best interest for that not to happen. So she should at least tentatively be on our side.
She wants a duel, and Millie puts up her fists.
If she challenges you with sabers or spears, try to find a way to decline.
Okay, noted.
Okay.
Finagle my way into hand to hand.
I mean, I'd rather just not fight her.
I mean, she's technically the only mortal-ish one among the Gorgons, according to stories. So, I mean, I can try. She'd think better of us if we accepted, as long as it wasn't spears or. What did you say
Sure.
the other one?
Sabers.
Sabers. Yeah.
She's remarkably quick. I hate to say it, she'd probably spear me if she heard me say it, but like a coiled snake.
Well, ideally, it won't come to that. We can just persuade her to help us.
She does have a fondness for music and art. She collects both. She does also collect
Alex, write a song.
musicians.
Ah, that's a bit more pressure than I would like.
We do have two artists among us, so.
Do not make it about snakes.
Or
I was already nervous
The
about
water.
meeting this woman.
Killian, the amount of restraint I had to put over myself. Ugh.
no snakes, no ocean.
No Athena.
I'd avoid the gods.
Nothing about decapitation.
Probably that either. No mirrors.
She has fondness
Maybe
for
just
love.
no lyrics would be great, actually.
Alexander immediately sets about writing some sort of like love sonnet in his head.
Honestly, you should probably avoid the concept of love.
That's what he just said
She
she
does
likes.
have a fondness for love, true love.
Ah, that's
He will write a song that embodies the feeling of true love.
Brilliant. All right.
Dun, da, da, da.
I suppose I should ask the question while we're kind of in his house. What's Ares' stance?
Do you really feel the need to ask the question? Zeus's
I mean, he's
position brings
happy
war.
with anything that.
I mean, I've got to make sure. Like,
Ares is just ready to square up.
yeah,
His
Does it
likely to be the
particularly
biggest
matter-
war in
Does it particularly matter which side of the conflict he is on to him?
truth be told, no.
no. Yeah.
Whichever way this unfolds, he has not chosen a side. He doesn't need to choose a side.
Just sit back and watch.
He just has to go to wherever the fighting is heaviest, and there he'll find his battle.
Okay.
Of all of them, I believe Ares is the only one neither side will be able to convince to commit.
That's okay. Those who cannot be convinced can be tricked.
Who do you think Zeus will try to kidnap next? Maybe we can get there first.
He did try to take both Aphrodite and Poseidon yesterday. The storms you saw were both his and Poseidon's making.
Mm.
He obviously succeeded in taking Nike.
Yeah.
I do not believe
Aphrodite, we've got a watch on as we're bodyguarding, so.
I don't believe he will be quite so quick to try and take Poseidon once again. The soldiers he sent are currently at the bottom of the ocean. Apparently Poseidon has giant octopi as friends, giant squids, things with many arms, and the ability to pull things to crushing depths. Without being
What
sure,
about Apollo?
Apollo would be a good choice. But we do know that Apollo's power has been passed on to another.
Right. So that should be said. Okay. So, okay. I'm still figuring all of this out. We we have powers, and now Zeus can't get those powers. The idea
Not unless he takes you.
takes up, of course. Okay.
And I would
All right.
keep an eye out
So,
for that.
and Hades and Persephone are pretty safe where they are. Demeter,
Possibly
Hestia.
any of them. Without knowing for sure who he does have, it's difficult to know who he may next target.
Suppose that's our
Aphrodite, I
first.
would say, almost certainly not again. Not because, and I do not mean to offend, but not because you guard her, but she perhaps isn't worth all of the effort going to towards her collection at this moment in time.
Not when he has a victory locked in his basement.
That is part of the problem, yes. I do wonder if Artemis might be the next one.
Gee, I was thinking about her. Do you know where we could find her?
She would be the only other individual I would say that could perhaps infiltrate Olympus. She travels swiftly, as swiftly as I, if not faster. But she doesn't tend to stay in one place for long. I would say outside this city, for nature is her domain.
Mm-hmm.
I can try to get word to her, but it is likely she would not agree to meet with the majority of your number. She's
Yeah, that might be a solo mission for you, Millie.
Honestly, I missed who we were talking about. Because
Artemis.
Artemis? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably handle that. Maybe Thea can come along and
Yeah.
empower.
I would suggest if you do meet with her to just to be careful. She has a certain way of drawing in those who need help. They do not always choose to leave. I believe it would be called a magnetic personality.
Yeah. We've danced around it a bit, and you've mentioned Artemis as a possible second. Are you unwilling to part be or
He's established he's busy, so that could be part of it.
yeah, but
Hermes,
we need to know
he
more than anything else. I understand your hesitation, but we need to know what we can do and who we can trust.
he avoids making eye contact with anybody, and eventually choosing not to sit at any of the very uncomfortable chairs, leans against one of the walls, though not one of the walls with weapons arrayed against them, kind of pointedly. I will not stand against you, and I will deliver the messages you give to me. If I can do so safely, I will deliver the messages even to Olympus. And if I see anything while I'm there, I will make note of it.
But no active spying. Okay. I understand.
We
Just
will
means we gotta sway Artemis.
mostly neutral.
Thank you. I do wish you success, but I would rather not be caught snooping around.
Sure you know this, but it bears saying there may be a time where you have to make a choice.
Yes, neutrality will only get you so far.
Respectfully, I hope your side looks more choosable at such a time.
Same. Hard agree. Okay. Mm. Do you know, is there any particular spot out in the woods that would be a good Artemis? Do you have a favorite park?
Find deer.
Dags. Makes sense.
See if you can find gatherings of women, of hunters. Just like this gym exists, our kind of had to evolve in the way we recruit followers. I know this may sound strange, but have you tried, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but have you tried searching the internet for hunting groups?
We have not.
we have it had to adapt to your century, your lifestyles with you. Setting up clubs of like-minded individuals is fairly easy with emails and newsletters.
Likely something moon related. Okay, all right. Some research to do. Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions for Hermes?
Do you know anyone else who has been kidnapped? We know Athena, Nike, Hephaestus. Do you know of anyone else who's already taken?
I know that there are a few that have joined his number willingly.
Also, we need to know that.
It was joined willingly, yes.
Yeah,
Heracles,
of course.
but more importantly, and perhaps more frustratingly for him, and something perhaps I should have started with, to be fair, Hera is not with him.
I was just gonna ask. That's
So where is this Hera?
interesting.
Nobody has seen her.
She left?
Years ago, centuries ago.
Oh,
They split, I believe, would be the
she actually left him?
she walked out.
If it were that long ago that she left, have you not heard any potential rumors of where she could be now?
If I
Well,
knew
she
where
probably
she was,
wants to be where no one that Zeus could press with questions could find her.
she would be the
Damn,
most
you
hidden.
know you fucked up when the goddess of marriage leaves you.
Maybe that's another one that I can try and feel out via newsletter and whatever other ways to try and connect with.
If you
Yeah.
find her,
Okay.
can you
I've
please
never-
tell her that I
I'm-
miss her?
I've just got this idea that Hera's somewhere in the real world as like a marriage counselor.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, but
no, of
Hera
course.
is somewhere in the real world as a marriage counselor.
Peace is not anywhere. She refuses to be photographed or on camera.
So super secret private.
But that treats like top end clientele. But
She
she's like
treats
super quiet.
everybody. She just
If we find her, we'll definitely let you know you miss your mom. Yeah.
Well, I
Get it.
I wouldn't have said it in that way, but thank you. And
I
I will
mean,
tell your mother
thank
that
you.
you miss her
Thank
too.
you. Please. And I'm gonna get her. We're gonna get in there. All right. Well, I hate research, but I guess it's time for research. Thought I was done with that.
Daniel has finished sketching up a trace of Hermes' calf muscles.
The whole
At
time
some point,
Hermes
Hermes
is
definitely
checking the-
noticed has been flexing the whole time.
Yep. And I'll say, unless, as I said, unless anybody's got any more questions for Hermes, with research to do for the beginning of next session before we embark on the gala, we'll call it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
We
but
had
I guess it's just Heracles. It's like Zeus and Heracles, and that's like the willing team about the bad guy
Zeus
team.
and Heracles at the very least.
Okay.
Hermes is still kind
We-
of
we-
playing the odds at the moment.
Yeah,
We know
yeah,
it.
yeah. But as
We-
far as solidly bad guy team,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's party time.
And we know Ares is just in for a scrap, so whoever
Yeah.
looks like he's going to win, he's
Yeah.
probably going to team up with them.
Honestly,
Nah, man.
honestly,
Nah, man. He's a third force.
yeah,
He just wants. He is on his own faction, the Ares faction.
yeah.
Well, either way, we're going to have to fight Ares anyway. So
Like if you Google
gonna-
this gym,
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
trick
find
him into-
like them all over the world. He's just
He's
training
building
his
an
own
army.
army.
Yeah. He's building his. I'm just what we got to do is get into a scrap with a real big proper god, and then right as Ares shows up, we bounce, we disappear, and we just let Ares forces steamroll our opposition.
I mean, that could happen. I am totally joining this gym on our way out.
Ares is dumb as a bag of hammers.
it's a worldwide chain of gyms called Spartan.
I mean, what
Spartan
better to
everything.
get for Ares' gym than the son of Nike? So, you know.
I mean, Millie absolutely is signing up for the gym too, because she's small and scrappy and wants to show these men how it's done.
Athena is probably on the willing team.
She-
Probably.
Not from what we've heard, but
I mean, we've heard she's kidnapped.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, we don't know necessarily
that's
if
testimony.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's more like you've heard that
Athena is the goddess of smart warfare.
you've heard more that she's kidnapped because Hephaestus is working for Zeus. So the assumption is that he's got Athena because he hasn't got Aphrodite.
Yeah.
He has to have one.
She's
of them.
leveraged to make
Yeah.
Hephaestus make robots.
But we don't know whether or not Athena's doing
Yeah.
her thing out of choice or
I have a personal bias against Athena.
is it the owls?
No. I can explain it off when we
Okay.
stop recording.
We also don't know who he's drained.
There is that. So
If anyone, yeah. Like,
Well, we know 5 for sure he hasn't drained because we have their powers.
yeah. But as far as yeah.
what we'll do very quickly then is favorite moment for yourself, favorite moment for another player, and we'll go with Millie. Or Killian
first?
plays Millie.
Favorite moment for Millie was definitely the really good rolls with animal handling with the hippocampi and writing over.
Never an animal that doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Yet. Favorite moment for someone else. Daniel and just continuing to draw body parts of the god. It's just like a scrapbook or a sketchbook that's just bits and pieces here and there that'll eventually
Wireframes of their musculature that will eventually become pieces.
Yes. I'm living for that.
Out of curiosity, is it just the muscles or does he get the tattoos and stuff as well?
I mean, look, the tattoo is a visual thing, but he needs to feel the body to see how it moves,
Okay.
so he can paint it.
Okay. Michael.
That's like he'll draw Poseidon with his tattoos and whatnot, because that's what he looks like. But he
Just
needs to feel
wandering around,
needs to
groping all the
feel
gods.
what
I imagine that when we're talking to Hermes, he like at one point just was like down on the floor, like caressing his cat.
Yeah, seeing where the muscle bends where it was taught.
Daniel the God Groper.
Michael that plays Winslow then.
Probably for myself, probably almost pissing off Poseidon. That would have been fun.
And yet he
Yeah.
picked on me.
Yeah.
Immediate repercussions of pissing off a Greek god.
Yeah.
They have no chill.
Winslow's not in a great headspace. I don't know if you know.
This man is not okay.
Yeah. And for someone else, I mean, drunk Daniel, like that's someone that, you know, Winslow could actually be friends with. As opposed to normal Daniel.
Drunk Daniel doesn't want to be your friend. Drunk Daniel doesn't want friends. Normal Daniel doesn't want friends, and Drunk Daniel remembers that.
Michael that plays Alexander.
For Alexander, just the general sucking at trying to swim with a seahorse. And that not working. And then for another character, every time I thought of one, someone else said another one. So literally just all of the other ones that were picked. Daniel being drunk, Daniel feeling up Poseidon, and Daniel feeling up Hermes.
I like,
Just Daniel as
Yeah.
a character.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I like to think I play a good character.
Okay.
Oh
And
my god,
then
those glasses.
Panic, who plays
Oh.
Daniel?
My favorite Daniel moment, because there were so many good ones. I'm going to say the external decision, like saying, "All right, I now know exactly what Daniel looks like, and it's everyone else's problem now." He's like, Daniel is just, it's fun to be him, because he really doesn't care about anything that's going on.
There are no consequences for my actions.
No. Daniel is a brat, and I love him. My favorite moment for someone else got I'm gonna say that Alexander's beef with Poseidon was really funny to interact with, and like also like kind of help. It's like when Alexander was like, "Excuse me, can I get a real pair of glasses?" to like a Cyclops on the side. It's like, wait a minute, no, we're going to try ruin this political marriage attempt. This game is fun. It's fun. It's fun being a character who is serious about something that doesn't matter.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody, for playing. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And we will catch you again in 2 weeks' time. Have a good... Yeah, we're still in January. Have a good January, and we'll see you in February. Bye, everyone.
Have a good
Bye. Yeah, it's time.